And it's Monday, y'all, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. And wow, I'm a little tired coming off the 4th. Let me bring my main man, Jersey Fred, on here to wake me up. Jersey Fred, wake me up on this after this long weekend. After was it the Preakness?
The Belmont of
the Belmont of summer was in the shore this weekend. The 4th of July.
The 4th.
Okay, so we were talking off camera. It was crazy there this weekend in Jersey, right?
Yes. Point Pleasant had the fireworks on the 4th, which was Friday night. Seaside Heights changed theirs till the last night because of, I'm assuming,
the debauchery that MDW brought.
Yes, and so we did go to Point Pleasant on Friday. It took us an hour and a half to get back from Point Pleasant. It's 4 miles away.
Holy cow.
I will say this though. So we did go last night to the Seaside Works as well.
Which I did get a photo of that.
Yes.
Your wife Mary having her favorite staple corn dog on the boardwalk.
Yes, Seaside Pizza, she says, is the best corn dog.
And why does Mary think that Seaside Pizza has the best corn dog?
She says it has the best ratio of corn to dog.
No, I'll tell you, nobody knows better than Mary.
Yeah. So, and
she's a corn dog connoisseur.
She saves me like one bite. I mean, it's good. I'm not a corn dog guy, but I could see how you can like those. I had a slice there.
She gives you a bite.
I am too. But
that's true love.
Yeah. I mean, when you share your last, it's like the last slice. Yeah. But I will say this between the two, very similar shows. I think that Point Pleasant had a better show. It went 5 minutes longer. And I felt like the volume was more. Like, I'm a bit.
Isn't Point Pleasant a more affluent area too?
Yes.
Right. Different area.
Yes. Money wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like a volume guy. Like, I don't like one. Like, I like a bang bang. Like, give me two. Like, and then some whistlers in between and stuff. I feel like that Point Pleasant threw a better. Like, it was very close, and Mare was like on the fence, which I was a little surprised because I had Point Pleasant hands down.
On the fence between Seaside and Point Pleasant fireworks show. Who did it best?
Yes, and I just feel like Point Pleasant did a better job with the volume wise.
But, I have to say, and after I was coming up with the show notes last night, like I told you, we were kind of relaxing on Sunday because we did it pretty good Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right. A lot of golf, a lot of barbecues, a lot of friends. I've come to realize last night that 4th of July is now my favorite holiday.
Okay.
It's my favorite holiday. And a couple of reasons why. I have a lot of friends that I don't get to see a lot. Everybody's off, right? I was able to see friends I haven't seen in a long time. And you go up to, for example, for me, you go up to Lake Orion. It feels like you're up north. Even though I'm 15 minutes away from my house, everybody's on the lake, everyone's doing the barbecue, and there's just like, it's such a carefree holiday. It's not stressful like Christmas.
You're not spending a ton of money.
You're not spending a ton of money. Like we really, truly just got to see, different groups of friends, played different golf courses. I had a blast, man. I had a blast, and it was nice to relax on Sunday because I was hyped.
And this year it fell on a Friday. So
I thought about that last night too. That helped.
Yes. Because when it falls on a Wednesday, it's like that day and then everyone's back at work. When it falls on a Friday, it was basically the 4th weekend.
Right. Well, it's almost like a 4-day weekend because a lot of people boogied out Wednesday or Thursday. or even some of these corporate guys were out the entire week.
Yeah, there was so where I grew up.
Yep.
It's about an hour away. There was on Thursday night, the traffic was 2 to 3 hours from there
coming down.
Yes, that was the estimate. And like you said, everyone was off Friday, so everyone left after work on Thursday. So,
jamming.
It was pretty jamming down here. I have never seen Point Pleasant like that in my life. Not like this weekend. Like I never seen it like that. I mean, awesome. We did get to see a girl crying. Not, on the phone. I'm so fucking done, Tommy. I swear to God, Tommy. Mascara running down her face. Like,
very Snooki-esque.
Yes. Tommy, I swear, Tommy, I'm so fucking done. Carrying her shoes. Like, like dirty feet looking like she just got her birth certificate.
That's awesome. And that's what you go down there for to see is the people watching in Seaside is just priceless.
I also mentioned this to Mare last night. We did say this with the fireworks show going to Point Pleasant and going to Seaside. First of all, Seaside, and you've been to both. Seaside is just it's wider, it's longer, so that helps too. Like it's just a bigger boardwalk. Like it's just like I said, it's twice as wide and twice as long. So it kind of is a better buy because you can spread out a little. But between the two, Seaside is a show within its own.
100%. 100.
You have a show within the show. So it's like you can just the people watching at Seaside compared to Point is, a little different.
You got Guido's first dudes.
There's some characters, dude. There is characters there. It's almost carnival NASCAR-esque.
Yeah. When the two worlds collide.
Yes. WWE meets NASCAR and the carnival.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just great people watching, but it was a great holiday. I'm a little tired this morning. Glad to be back on the pod. I just have one thing I want to talk about before we get into the sports from this weekend, because I know for sure, I'm hoping that your weekend didn't get ruined by sports, but we're going to go into that in a little bit here. But I want to talk about something because I have the ability in this platform to talk about how ridiculous Chrysler or FCA, Fiat Chrysler customer services. I'm still without a car right now, by the way. We're 1 week.
Really?
1 week, no car. Okay. Not blaming it on the dealership. The dealership took me in. I'm blaming on the customer service because I literally called them 3 times a day, every single day. And my case manager has yet to call me back to allow me to get a rental car when the dealership doesn't have them. It is insane to me that this customer service, and this is why I feel, and I'm probably going to get hammered on here, is why people don't want to buy American cars anymore. The customer service is trash. My wife has a BMW, had some issues with it. They basically cater to her, give her her car. You know what I mean? She's drinking a latte in the lobby. Like, I'm not asking for stuff like that. I'm just asking for now granted that the car price is very different, right? I understand. But let's be honest here. Customer service is customer service, man, at the end of the day. And it's just pathetic that I have to deal with this. You know me, Fred. You've known me for a long time. I lease cars because I don't want to deal with the hassle. I'll up the mileage as much as I possibly can. I don't want to deal with the hassle. But when I go without a car for a week and nobody's paying for my rental car, absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's that, and it's unacceptable. It's funny you just mentioned that. My father just had problem. He has a 2023 RAV4 because he drives back and forth to.
Right.
So it's something electrical with the dashboard, blah blah blah. So he calls me now. you know my dad, by the way.
Yep, for sure.
He's not a man of many words, many English words.
Right.
You know, so for him to deal with customer service, it's brutal. So he called me and said that he dropped the car off. They drove him back to Orange, New Jersey. And he goes, I said, did you get a rental? He said, they didn't tell me anything. I said, did you ask? He said, no, of course. Like, you know.
Right.
And so I had my buddy, who's Toyota guy, sells, call up there. So then my dad had to go back and pick up the rental. But he didn't have, now he was mad about his car because service wouldn't tell him what was exactly wrong with it. Like he was getting the runaround with that.
Right.
He got a different service guy every day that would, oh yeah, it's this, it's that. But customer service was terrible with Toyota. I'm just saying it. But I won't say it's terrible with Toyota. It's the private companies.
Right.
So it's not the Toyota. It's a private company that has a bunch of different cars and services a bunch of different cars for Toyota and other brands. So but yes, the service was the customer service was brutal, and I can understand like it being a little bit of a problem for my dad just because he doesn't speak well English at times, stuff like that. Right. So I get that part of it, but I can't believe that you have a car which is still under warranty anyway.
Yes, I don't even own the car. It's not even my car. It's your car, Chrysler, not my car.
And you go and they drive you home. Like, what do you mean? That's
why I'm saying, like, I'll give the dealership, okay, like it was last minute, the car didn't work, they didn't have rentals. It's not like I made an appointment. So they weren't prepared. They're like, but hey, call them, they'll reimburse your, and no call. At this point, I'm leaving messages telling them I'm stranded on the side of the road. What do I do?
You know what you have to do? It's old school, but you got to show up and not leave until you get a car.
First of all, wherever this number goes is not anywhere.
No.
You think I should just go to 75 in the Chrysler right there?
Oh, 100%. And say, I've been calling the number for a week. This is it. This is your last chance.
I love it. I'm going to have Sarah drop me off at the front door after the pod.
I mean, it's like you're dealing with Joey sprinklers one week.
Right.
And now this.
Customer service is the thing of the past. I got Joey sprinklers. Now I don't even know what to call my customer service because I haven't had a conversation with her, Fred. I don't know.
No. Yeah, it's brutal.
Let's get into the real deal while we're here. Let's talk sports, buddy. Let's talk sports. I'll go first. And we had a sweep in Cleveland. Did you catch the end of the game last night?
Yeah, Trey Sweeney, my boy.
Trey Sweeney. And for us to what would we score? 6 runs in the 10th inning. Amazing. And we went back and forth before. Minnesota, Cleveland. Which one is it? Who's our rival? I still think it's Minnesota. But now, but now we're gaining a lot of traction in the Central. I think we're up by what 9?
13.
13 is it that much?
I think you're double digits.
It's crazy, but we're looking good, man. We're looking real good, and there's a lot of people talking. We have 4 All-Stars, and but the biggest one right now is our snub. You always want to talk about that, and they're saying it's Zach McKinstry. Why was he left off? I think it's a Detroit thing.
Could be.
Right? I don't think it's a national snub. I think that's just a bunch of homers saying, why isn't he on the roster? Yeah. For us to have 4 people in the All-Star game, that's a lot.
Yeah, for any team, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking good.
Labor Day, though, is going to the All-Star game.
No, what's that?
Is Labor Day going to the All-Star game?
Yeah, he is. I thought you were going to bring up the fact that he got hurt. I don't know what the status of his injury is. I was hoping you would be able to fill me in on that. I don't know if it's long-term. I don't know if it's temporary, but that is a concern, right? As Labor Day is the man, and you called it from the jump. We can go back on the beginning of these these podcasts this year, you said Labor Day is going to have a year.
Yes, and Trey Sweeney, we drafted him first round.
Trey Sweeney looking good as well. And then obviously, like I said last week, Scooble is just insane.
Yeah, and they just sent Trey Sweeney down and came back up. So
right.
maybe,
he was going for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Maybe 24 hours. I think it was like 48 hours, something like that. And people are like, well, did he get enough time? Like, well, he played like 3 games.
I hope that like Parker Meadows is like slumping at the plate. He's under 200, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that they don't send him down and stuff like that. Like right now, the chemistry of the team is like where you want it.
For sure.
So it's like you can deal with a guy who is Gold Glove potential in the outfield and hits under 200 if you guys are winning.
It's just 100%. And it's just a matter of time, man. It takes a while to get back into a swing of things. He was gone for quite some time. But the thing that I like most is I noticed this too. The Astros outscored the Dodgers 29-6 this past weekend.
Yeah.
And we do have the best record in the MLB. And the stars are starting to align, man. It's looking good on our end. I mean, big things could happen this end of this summer. And I'm excited for them.
And you know, like, I knew they were going to have a great year. I told you they would win the Central.
100%.
I told you to take the over on the that was the silliest number I've ever seen. The number prior to the season starting was less than what they won last year, which was very confusing.
Right.
So
no, you definitely did call it. But be honest. Like, we all said this. We all said they were going to be good. We all said they were going to win the Central. Are they exceeding your expectations at this point now?
I think so. I mean, I didn't have them best record in the league.
Right.
I had them winning the Central and handling the Central. I didn't have them best record in the league. I mean, they're. You know what it is with Detroit is they win the close games. Like, dude, when you win the 1-run games, it's such a big difference.
Yep.
Like. It's those close games that you win, and everything, like you said, the stars are aligning. You know, everything is. They're still. I'm not saying this to be, anti small market. They still are flying under the radar nationally.
Okay, and that's hard for me to comment on that.
Fantastic for you, believe me. Absolutely. Yes. You don't want people talking about it.
But in my world, that's all we're talking about.
Of course, yes.
Right. You know, so that's a good perspective to get from your side because we don't see that. Right here, especially right now, it's the only thing we got.
Like, it's like they have the best record in the league, and everyone's still talking about the Dodgers. Everyone's still talking about the Mets. Like, you know, like, I mean, the Mets ended up going tanking. I don't know, lost 15-17. Whatever, like, you know, but then they're only a game or two out of first place. The Dodgers, you know, everyone's talking about the Dodgers. Now the Yankees are on a slump, losing 6 in a row, 7 out of 8. They got a win yesterday, but
they did get a win yesterday. Did they ruin your fourth? Did you let them ruin your 4th of July weekend?
No way.
Good.
3 games out though, so like they're now like.
What about Jackson? Did his holiday get ruined?
So he is currently in Florida at USABL tournament.
Okay.
He told me yesterday he was done. Well, he actually told me Friday and Saturday he was done.
He's done being a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
For the year.
And this is probably the 10th time he said it this year. And it was funny because yesterday when I was sitting outside with Mayor, I said, it was Saturday. I'm sorry. I said, let me see what this kid's going to say. And it was a lot of curse words and stuff like that. But it was like, this team and this, that, and I'm so done. This is really bad. And I'm like,
aren't his comments every once in a while? I'm never going to
watch again.
Or I'm never going to see a World Series in my life.
I'll never see a World Series in my lifetime.
Right. So we always talk about this because you laugh as a Yankees fan and the age that you are. You're kind of seeing yourself through Jackson. right?
Yes.
Like you were the kid who was like, I'm done. I can't watch anymore. Now
And then
as older, wiser.
You turn the game right on the next day.
Yeah. So you're older, wiser. You understand the game a little bit more. So you love to antagonize him and get him going as far as how it's going to go.
Like,
are you concerned?
I'm not. Well, so we lost another starter pitcher, Tommy John. So out of our 5 starting pitchers, 2 are getting Tommy John. 1 is our ace, Garrett Cole.
Right.
He'll be back in like June next year. This our other starter who is getting Tommy John now is going to miss the whole season next year. And then we're still waiting for one of our other starting pitchers to get back, who's going to be end of July. So I mean, running your team with 2 starters and 3 backup pitchers is tough. And even when we get our other starter back, we'll have 3 starters in the lineup. I think we make moves now at the deadline.
But you didn't answer my question.
Am I concerned?
Are you concerned?
I'm concerned.
If you don't make moves right now, is that concerning?
If they don't make moves at the deadline, they're not making the playoffs. But because they're hitting well, they're scoring in the top 5 in the league, which makes no sense, so it shows how the pitching is. I mean, they need I would say they're definitely getting a starter at the deadline, by the deadline. I don't know who's going to be up and around. Probably a bunch of dudes that are like last year of their contract. So we'll get them. We'll get them for
stuff to do, but
it works. We get them for the rest. Get them for the rest of the year, and then don't sign them.
Right.
But who's up for their contract at the end of this year? Scooby.
It's not going to happen, man. We're paying.
We're
giving him the bag.
No, I'm just saying he is though. That's going to be an interesting conversation.
It is, and we better not drop the ball.
Will they let him, entertain free agency? Talk to other teams?
I hope they hand him the bag and shut it down right away. You can't lose a guy like this, and if they blow it, this town is going to lose their mind. I promise you that.
Yeah, and if they don't re-sign him, it's even worse if they don't ship him out before the deadline. Then, because you're going to get nothing for him after the season. Now, I don't see any of that happening. Like, there's no way they ship him out. He's not even on the radar to But listen, could they win the Central without Tarek Skubal? Yes.
Right.
So it is kind of like now that
you're not going to win the World Series without him.
You might not, and you would lose the fan base.
Right.
The momentum of the fan base, but he's not going anywhere before in the trade deadline. But it's going to be an interesting conversation. Do they let him test free agency, or do they just lock the bag down in November?
Right. I hope they do. I really do. I hope that they do.
What do you want? How many years do you want? And what do you want? Here you go. That's out of the way.
Right.
That's your Miggy signing, right? The 10-year contract. Here you go. I don't care what you want. And then we'll figure out the other pieces.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I hope that's the way it goes. I hope it is the way that goes. But moving on, let's talk about the greatest athlete on the planet right now. Joey Chestnut?
I thought you were going to say Usain Bolt. Joey Jaws. Man.
Joey Chestnut.
The mustard belt.
71 dogs in 10 minutes.
I watched it, of course. Yes.
Insane. they're saying, and I always like to quote my favorite podcast, pardon my take, name a better athlete.
It's tough.
They brought up Usain Bolt. It's funny that you say that. They brought up Tiger Woods. They were trying to go individual, right?
Yeah.
Like better than Tom Brady? Yes, he's better than Tom Brady. You know, like, but is he the greatest? And how long do you think he can continue this run? It's so I wrote it down. 20 appearances, 17 titles.
Yeah. And Kobayashi was there for the other for 2 of the 3 he didn't win. So now Kobayashi, the tsunami, they call him. He's not allowed to participate because of the league that he's in. So
crazy.
Yeah,
what
so
league is Kobayashi in? Like, I didn't even realize
he's in a competitive eating league that you can't go into any outside events. So Nathan, I don't think is in the league that is a competition in the league. That's why he hasn't been around.
But he's still competitively eating.
Yes, and I believe last year. Did Joey get like banned for a year or some shit?
Yeah, that's why he wasn't in last year. And the reason why is I think it was something to do with his comment. Or no. I know what it was. He made a comment, or he did some publicity for a what do you call it? Another company against Nathan's. That's what it was.
So last year, I believe. I think they may have done like a Kobayashi Joey Chestnut's separate thing, but I don't know. It's weird. But without Kobayashi there, like he has no competition,
right?
0.
100%. That's why they were saying like, where do you think this is? Like, where is the sport heading after this? Right?
We probably won't see because. If there was a younger person or someone breaking into the sport, they would come close. Like no one's coming close to. I don't know if anyone broke 60.
Back then.
Yes, the other day. I don't think anyone broke 60. Like
I gotcha.
Like out of the other competitors. So, I don't know.
70. Nobody was. Yeah, that's like.
Like he's blowing people away. It's like, so as the event was on, I had it on, and Nick was here with the kids, and I'm watching it with the kids. I'm telling them about Jaws. Joe.
I mean, you're showing these young kids that they're in the midst of a legend.
Yes, and I was saying to them. The rest of these guys are just competing for second place. I'm like, all these guys, coming up there with their walkout songs and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's cute and all that, but like, they're really only competing for second place. Like, Joey Chestnuts is that much better than everybody at this particular event. I'm not sure about other events. I mean, I did see some of his numbers I think he holds the record for hard-boiled eggs and like a bunch of other things. It's crazy. But like
he's the king of dogs.
Yeah, he's got the mustard belt 17 times.
The mustard, I love it. Now, while you're watching it with Nick, did Nick comment on how many dogs he thinks he could take down in 10 minutes?
I feel like he said maybe like a 5-ish or something like that. He's like he just thought it was gross, really. He thought it was nasty. I think give me 10 minutes. I mean, I could eat 10 dogs in 10 minutes, but like that's it. And I'm not dunking in the water. I'm not doing that. Like
no, as long as you got a soft bun.
Yes.
Maybe a steamed bun,
because it's a little wet.
Yeah.
But like I'm not doing the Joey Chestnuts 2 glizzies at a time and then balling up the bun.
Right. No.
I just mean straight dogs, like a normal human would eat it. I could probably do 10, but that's it.
greatest athlete on the planet. Like I posted, the big head said, we're just lucky to be around to witness Joey Chestnut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. I want to play something for you. Let me see if I can do this. And hopefully this works because I want you to watch this video that somebody sent me over the weekend. Let's see if this works. If not, I screwed the pooch and I can't get it. Damn it. I can't figure it out. That sucks. Okay. But I want to talk to you about it. And I know you've been following this Malik Beasley situation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you happen to see the video where they showed, oh, we lost him. We lost Fred. Hang tight. We're going to get Fred in. This might give me some time here. We got him. He's back.
Okay.
All right, we're good. Okay. Did you happen to see the video where there's 3 clips in this video? Clip number 1 is, and I know you saw this one, is when Malik Beasley runs down the court, scores to cover. Then there is another one where he's guarding Tyrese Halliburton, and he just basically blows by him while he's standing still. And then the third one. And now the third one was the last play of him being a Piston. Cade throws him the ball, which is a questionable pass. He misses it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Okay? The first 2, wholeheartedly, I can tell you that it's point shaving. It's point shaving. There's not a doubt in my mind, 100%. The question I have for you, do you think the play with the Pistons was a point shaving, or was it just a mishandled pass?
That's a tough one. It could be both, obviously, right? But with the nature of the situation we're in, I think everyone's going to expect it to be part of the gambling situation.
Great point.
Like
so
now people are going to go through every single clip of his and dissect it, whether he makes a bucket or not. Like, you know,
right now, one of our listeners, longtime friend of mine, shout out Daryl Mercadishan, he sent me that clip because he commented on one of our videos on TikTok. Then he sends me the Instagram reel, which I wish I could play it. I forgot to get it queued up. And I said to him, that's questionable. But he brings up a very good point. And I think he's similar to what you're saying. Merck's saying, like, well, at this point, everything's going to be scrutinized.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's under a microscope regardless. But, I mean, as you read more into this story, it's just mind-blowing. Dude owes 26 G's to his barber. He owes, what is it? What was the number? $34,000 to his dentist. And, dude, I mean, it's $8 million on the street. Fred, how much do you owe your dentist? How much are you into your dentist for right now?
I think we're caught up. I think we're good.
I am too, because I had just gotten a cleaning and then I paid them.
Yes.
So we're good.
Well, did you ask them to borrow any money so you can gamble?
No, I didn't ask Rena if I could borrow money to gamble. And I think maybe that's the
thing. Maybe that's the thing now. Dentists are loan sharks.
And your barber? I can see the barber, though.
The barber's definitely handing out money.
So you think these are loans from these guys?
No.
Because here's the thing. They're garnishing his wages.
Yes.
The dentist is garnishing his wages.
Yes. It's crazy.
Dude, there's so now the talk right now is that there's more people that are going to be exposed in this particular situation. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
They all bet.
You said it. First thing Fred says to me when I text him this, everybody they all bet.
Yes. Now, I'm not saying they all bet their sport or shave or do any of that stuff. What I'm saying is they all gamble, okay? I'm going to say that there's probably 50% that don't gamble their sport. But I'm going to say that probably 80% gamble in general. Yes. You might have a couple guys that don't, but like with FanDuel and DraftKings and stuff like that, yes, they're all betting. And it's not just them betting. more people are betting.
The entire world.
Like I run into people that, like allegedly I ran a book for a long time, right? And there's people that I would be like, I'm confused when they're like, oh, check this parlay out. I'm like, you fucking gamble? Like, like it's so crazy now because the money is different. Back in the day, you couldn't bet under 25, $30. Now you can bet $1.
Right.
So it's a little different, but everyone's betting. So it doesn't surprise me that the athletes are betting, right? They're definitely betting on football, like the basketball. Yeah. So like,
and vice versa.
Yes. But like when you get into the point shaving part of it, it's it's hard to like defend guys.
Yeah.
On that.
By no stretch. I love gambling. You know that. I share it with you. Point shaving is just different.
They're investigating a pitcher in the MLB right now, who threw like 2 lawn darts, and there was an influx of money on the first pitch of the 3rd inning being a ball, and he just spikes a ball, and it happened twice. They looked at the amount of money on the certain bets, and this guy's being investigated.
Wait, so you're telling me that somebody placed a bet that in the 3rd inning, 2nd pitch, it's going to be
like in the live betting, where you can bet basically the next play and all that shit.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I never played that close.
So I guess like with sports and the way shit is going nowadays, they look at the influx in bets and see what the outcomes are. That's how they catch most of these people.
That makes sense.
Or red flag it. And there was like a crazy amount of money coming in for this next, like for the first pitch of the 3rd inning being a ball between innings. Right. He comes out and just spikes one.
Why so blatant obvious, man? You can throw a ball fairly easily. I mean, throw a ball. Pitch the ball, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. Like if
so he did it twice, and now they're going to go into an investigation, which now it's going to open up the can of worms, like you said. Now you're going to put the microscope on this guy and every pitch and everything he did, and be like, well, that might have been. But like you have to look. They look at the volume also.
I would think baseball. Well, I see the pitching situation, but baseball in itself, it's a little tougher to like shave. Not like basketball. Basketball is easier. Basketball is the easiest one. Football is harder.
Oh, dude, basketball is the easiest one by far because it's not uncommon to miss shots.
Right.
It's the making shots that is, it's him running down when you're down 7 and just with no time left and dunking the ball. So you're, that one there is a little weird.
There's another clip I forgot, and it just came to me where at the end of the game, he tried to shoot one.
Yes.
And Giannis blocked it. And Giannis was screwing around, and he was pissed, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
So Giannis blocks him. Beasley's like, you just blew my parlay.
No, what he did was he blew other people's parlays. Right. That's the real money that's going around.
So
he's not saving points for himself.
Is going to you and saying, hey, throw 20 dimes on this, and this. I'm going to make it happen.
Either that or someone's going to him, which is the old school way of shaving points, and saying, Brad, I'm going to need you to get, X amount of rebounds tonight. And I'm betting a big portion and I'm going to cut you in.
Right. That makes sense. That's most
which has been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah. What was the referee's name that got busted? Donnelly?
Yes.
Right.
I mean, dude, now that it's just weird betting on your own games, but like also, Brad, it's not just the betting on your own games. These dudes are a very tight knit group, so like they can influence another game because they're a tight knit group. So it's not crazy for me to call you and say, "How are you feeling tonight?"
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Playing. Anybody
Yeah,
hurt?
like, yeah. I mean, come on, that's normal shit. But me asking you to shave,
it's crazy to me because I personally, Brad Patrick, cannot even bet on Lions games. I don't like to bet on my own team. No, I'm not even playing.
No, I mean, I never bet on my team unless I bet the over. Like that. That's kind of like the only thing I would bet on my team would be the over. But like, I mean, in New Jersey, you can't bet any college sport played in the state.
That's crazy. I forgot about that. You told me that a couple of months ago, and that is crazy. But I mean, I get it. But you guys don't have the best track record.
No, New Jersey created corruption. I mean, invented it. So it's like all of this stuff here. It's like, you know, like I have to call my buddy in Connecticut to put in my Seton Hall bets.
That reminds me. I was walking the dog the other day through the neighborhood. Didn't have my phone on me. We got a Seton Hall grad in our neighborhood.
Are you serious?
Brad, I'm going to make that walk this week. I'll take a picture of their flag. Got a Seton Hall flag right now. I've stopped, and neither one of us had our phones on. We were walking Frank, Seton Hall grad, living right in Rochester.
Has to be a golfer free ride.
Interesting. I'm just going to wait out.
That would be my guess.
Good guess.
Yeah.
Good guess. All right, PGA real quick, nothing too crazy. A couple weeks away from the Open. I'm excited about that. Obviously, congratulations to Brian Campbell, who won the John Deere Classic. But there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about in the John Deere Classic. Number one, there was the Pottinger, who won in a rocket. He shoots a 75, 5 over. And withdraws from the competition. Now, the day before, he had like 2 eagles in a row, but nobody said why. You think he just bailed because he had a bad day?
Yeah.
That's a bitch move.
Yeah.
If that was the case, if that was the case, I would quit after 7 holes every single time I played golf.
Oh, yeah. If you lapped it to 7.
First hole, I throw up a double. I'm like, I'm out of here. Today's not my day.
I'll be at the clubhouse. I'll be at the bar having a sandwich and a Bloody Mary. I'll see you guys in about 4 hours.
Right. Because I just put one in the drink on hole number 1.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things I did like about this weekend is Max Homa making a run. Max Homa is my guy. I would have loved to see him win it, but didn't. But I think he's starting to catch stride. Maybe it's just in time for the Open.
Yeah, we'll see.
That would be
I
cool.
didn't catch any of the John Deere Classic this weekend. Is that in Illinois?
Yeah, actually it was.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I know about it, but like, yeah, I didn't really check in too much with golf this weekend.
It's a small tournament. Only diehards like myself will tune in and just make sure. But real quick, 9 more Sundays, Fred. 9 more Sundays. That's crazy.
Okay.
9 more Sundays in football, but you know what I'm excited about? Tomorrow, Netflix releases Quarterback 2. And they have the greatest quarterback in the league of Jared Goff in there.
Okay.
They have Joe Burrow and Cousins.
Okay.
Which, didn't they already do Cousins? I'm positive they did because they showed his Michigan Lake House. That's why I knew.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not on that one.
You got to get on it. You got to get
quarterback.
On it.
Yeah,
Quarterback 2. You didn't watch the first one?
I didn't.
Watch it. I think it's cool. I love seeing their everyday life.
Yeah.
You know what? So that's just kind of getting you ready. Getting people ready. And then obviously you heard we're getting a WNBA team.
Yeah.
Question.
What'd you think about the comments?
Bullshit. You saw my post. Really, Soph? Do you know that our WNBA team has 3 titles?
Back to back, too.
And you want to talk shit about coming to Detroit?
It's not really about the titles.
What is it about, Fred?
It's about now. Listen, I'm not defending her. I'm just giving.
You're starting to. You feel like you're starting to. Fred.
No. I'm not defending what she said per se, but I think that it got a little bit misconstrued.
I knew that.
I don't even know if that's the right word. I have a terrible fucking vocabulary. I don't know if I used it in the right context. But like,
I think you did.
What she was saying is when Miami's on the table, that's all she's saying. Like you know, like
nobody wants to go to that dump.
I mean, I'm not. You know, today's not the day for me to berate the Midwest. I believe that I had this conversation with my brother-in-law because of the Cleveland Detroit comment. I will say this: the Midwest. Let me give you a little history lesson about the Midwest.
Here we go.
The Midwest was created by people who, listen, love me or hate me. I'm going to say what I say. The Midwest was created. Read a fucking book. The Midwest was created by people who couldn't make it in the East and were too lazy to make it out West. And that's factual. That's not. I'm not. I'm going to
ask you to bring facts next week.
What's that?
I'm going to ask you to bring facts next week.
No. Read a book. The people.
I want you to quote this book.
It's in history books.
It's in the history.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like do some due diligence. I mean, people who couldn't make it in the East Coast traveled west, and then when they were too lazy to keep traveling, they made the Midwest. That's how the Midwest.
But let me ask this: where? And I don't remember this. I honestly, but I know it's a thing. Where is Sophie Cunningham from?
I'm not even sure.
I don't. It's like Iowa.
Is it Minnesota or something?
Iowa, Minnesota, somewhere. Like
he also played football.
She did.
She was like the kicker. You know what? It's definitely Midwest. She was like one of the first female black belts in her state at her age.
So she's a phenomenal athlete.
Yes, and she was the kicker for her high school football team.
Of course she was. I just thought it was a little ridiculous.
It was a little bit. It was a weird. She could have worded it differently. But like the way she worded it wasn't that cool. But like when you have Miami on the table and Nashville on the table and stuff like that, I understand where she's going with this.
Right. I got you.
And because if you look at the W right now, Atlanta is the only team in that area. The only team. The next closest team to Atlanta is DC.
Wow, that's crazy.
And Dallas. So think about that. Like, it's so. And the Midwest, there's a bunch of teams in there. There's a fair amount. But like, I think that
I'll tell you what this does do. This does, and I hope that this keeps getting brought up because it'll make the games more exciting.
Oh, I can't wait till she goes to Detroit.
Right? And that's going to be crazy. They'll boo the shit out of her here.
It would be great
for Jesus. We booed Matt Stafford. What do you think we're going to do to Sophie Cunningham?
Yeah, and I think right now, obviously, it's the one of the only like rivalries in the W is Chicago, Indiana, because of Angel Reese and Cleveland Clark. So like, hopefully this will start something else.
For sure.
Indiana Fever, give them their flowers. They won the Commissioner Cup. Without and Splashaway. The Lynx are still probably one of the best teams in the league. It is what it is, you know.
How about this though? And Splashaway, number one, most points or most votes for the All-Star team amongst the coaches, 9th amongst peers.
Crazy.
Haters going to hate, Fred. Haters going to hate.
Haters going to hate. I mean, that was when I saw that, I was like, that it obviously doesn't make sense, right? But like, you know, I could see it happening. Like, you know, like it's unfortunate, but like she's the captain of the All-Star team.
But I think it brings more attention to the W, and I love it.
Yes.
I want to see more.
And will you be getting season tickets to the Shock?
They're not going to be called the Shock.
Oh, okay. I know I knew it was up for debate, but I thought the Shock was going to be in the
I don't know that for sure. They don't have a name as of right now.
They don't, but I believe that the Shock will be in the picture.
I promise you this. I will go to a Detroit Fever game for sure.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
All right. We got a last little thing because we're running barely any sports on. We're still running long, which is awesome. But I just want to talk about our new topic that we're going to bring up on the show. We're going to talk about it every Monday. I got to get Fred my password to my YouTube TV. We did have a snafu.
Yes, real quick though. U.S. loses to Mexico in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah, and Wimbledon. We got lots of upsets.
Got 4 Americans left, 2 women, 2 men.
Yeah, we got Ben Shelton. You know, that's like America's couple. Trinity Rodman and Ben Shelton.
So that's Dennis's daughter, right? The soccer player.
Yes. And then the 2 girls, Amanda and Emma. Amanda, born in Freehold, New Jersey. Emma, born in New York City. So we got that. Taylor Fritz. I think America's tennis couple right now is the whole Ben Shelton, Trinity Rodman thing. So that's kind of cool. But
was the Coco Gauff thing the biggest upset in Wimbledon history?
It could be. It was pretty crazy. She did mention that she really hasn't been focused since her win because
she's too busy making TikTok videos, bro.
I think there was a lot of like there's a lot of press and like stuff like that from winning the French Open, and she wasn't really focused.
French Open hangover.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. For those of you who don't know about 90 Day Fiancé, do me a favor and get on it. And then comment on here that you're starting watching because you're listening to Fred and I. Fred is the one who originally got me into this show years and years ago. And those of you, let me give you a little premise of what the show is about, right? It's basically like me finding love overseas, bringing them over here in 90 days to get married. What's the worst that could happen?
The K-1 visa process.
The K-1 visa process. So what they did is they started a new show last night. It's the beginning of it, and it's Happily Ever After. So it's going back and revisiting couples who have already been on the show, who have been married. And last night they focused on a couple of couples, Andre and Libby. Now, Andre's from Moldova. Libby's from Florida. You notice there's a lot of Florida people in their show?
Yes.
But he's basically saying, look, Libby, from white girl from Florida, I'm moving us and our kids from Tampa. I'm moving us and our kids to Moldova. Now, granted, there's 2 other couples at this dinner party. One of them is from Ukraine. The other one is from Israel. And they're like, why would you move your children to Moldova? He's like, because I can work from home and the cost of living is so much cheaper and now I can have more money. Not the fact that your kids are in a war-torn country. You can at least save some money. But it's one of the best shows on TV. And then of course, there is a Michigan person on there, and that's my man Gino.
Gino.
Straight from Canton, Michigan himself, who is currently in an open marriage. And now dipping his toe into an open marriage and has a new girl that he brings on the show, Fred. I believe her name is Natalie.
Okay. Is she from Michigan? Or is she from overseas?
You know what? That's a good question. I have to look that up. I think she is. I think she is overseas. She's got an accent. Okay. I don't know where she's from. And meanwhile, his wife, Jasmine, is taking full advantage of the open marriage with her dude. And, and she's pregnant.
Of course.
So if you like this kind of entertainment, get on to 90 Day. Let's start talking about it. I'm going to get Fred caught up because it's been a while because we've had some streaming issues. Issues that Fred wants my password. That's the only thing.
That's really the only issue.
So stay on it. It's going to be, we're going to be talking about it some more. We're going to get Fred caught up. We will be back next week. Fred, any last comments?
No. Just trying to enjoy the summer, man. It's beautiful out. When are you guys getting out here? Do you know?
September. It's happening.
For Tigers?
What's that?
For the Tigers?
Tigers in September. Well, you were talking about New York? The game?
Well, they're playing in September.
You want to do that?
It's the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
What is it going to cost me to go to a Yankees game?
I mean, it's we get cheap tickets like up top or something, and then I'm going tomorrow night. Actually,
are you really?
Yeah,
nice.
But it's a friend. I'm being brought.
You're a +1.
There's 4 tickets. My buddy got them down low. Big, finance guy. So I'm in.
All right. Well, you enjoy yourself, and then hopefully you have some info, some good news for us. And they won last night.
I mean,
tonight. Who do they play tonight?
They play this week. They play. They don't play tonight. They play Seattle, and then the Cubs.
Wait, what day are you going?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So they play
Seattle
off
tonight. They play Seattle, then the Cubs. I think Detroit plays Tampa, then Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
all right,
I need those Tigers to beat Tampa.
Done.
Okay.
All right. Have a great week, brother.
I'll see you.
Take care, y'all.